What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you stopping by for the first time, if you see something you like during this video, please don't forget to subscribe at some point. Those of you stopping by that have been here before, welcome back to TLTG Reviews, my friends. Glad you came to see me. So it's that time of the week. It's time for my weekly rotation. It's week number 23. Stay tuned. So jumping right off into what I wore on Sunday, one that I've been meaning to wear for a while. This was actually gifted to me, a partial bottle by Steve, Fragrance Fanatic. I'll link his channel below. Shout out to you, Steve. I did a collaboration in the winter. I actually drove down to his house in Lake Jackson, and while I was there, he actually gave me a few things, two things specifically, and this was one of them from Genre Parfums. Ran After My Car, RAMC. This is a compliment machine. The lemon in this, mixed with the fruits, is absolutely gorgeous. I get it. The whole thing behind RAMC is I smelled so good, she ran after my car. That's the whole theme and the story behind it. Genre Parfums, I don't know how business has been going with the quarantine, but I know it's only certain points of the year that you can order things from them. I actually do have 4 fragrances from them, and everything I've tried is top-notch, great performers that don't smell synthetic. And I'll tell you what, this is probably their most popular for good reason, because you're going to smell incredible to everyone around you. And that's Genre Parfums RAMC. Ran After My Car. And then when I got out the shower that night, Tommy Bahama set sail Martinique. Sometimes you just need a marine aquatic. Oh man, God, it smells so good. I hadn't wore it in quite a while, and I was looking through this one box that's right here. I just happened to glance, because the top's open on these boxes. Happened to glance down and saw the top of this cap. I said, yeah, I haven't wore that in a while. Grabbed it, sprayed it on, enjoyed every minute of it, because it smells very good. It's a wonderful aquatic. You can find these at the rack stores whenever they do open again, in the $20 range for these 100 ml bottles. These are fantastic cheapies from Tommy Bahama. Moving into Monday, a light blue powerhouse favorite for the heat. Just happens to be called light blue. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense. One that you're going to get a lot of performance on this one, anywhere from 8 to 10 hours, depending on just how hot it is outside, just how much your body heats up and sweats. It projects, it lasts, it's aquatic, it's super salty directly off my skin, as I'm sure it is with a lot of other people, but out in the air, it smells great. There's no denying that. This is definitely a fantastic performer for the heat. One that I really enjoy wearing. It had to grow on me, but I do enjoy it. It's Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense. And then later that night, after I had finished shaving, this is still a cologne splash, so I couldn't use it as an aftershave, so I did use a very mild aftershave and then splash this on afterwards. Stetson Fresh. Bet you didn't see that one coming. So this was part of that 3-bottle collector's edition. This past Christmas time, it was before Christmas actually. It was in the fall, late fall, early winter, that I came across the 3-bottle collection on clearance for $8 at Marshall's, and I figured, hey, why not? I do wear them from time to time. Fresh is the one that I wear the most, as you can tell by the dent, because it smells fresh. It's a fresh take on the Stetson DNA, which is a timeless classic. Absolutely love popping this one on from time to time. Don't think old man when you smell Stetson. Think refined gentleman. And this is just the summer version, the Stetson Fresh. Moving into Tuesday, one that I recently had to have. I saw a lot of people have been doing reviews on it. I've been wanting to try it since last year when it came out. I've always heard how great the smell is and how terrible the performance is, and that's absolutely accurate. It's Parfums de Marly. This is a decant of Sedley. Yes, it is a beautiful, creamy fougere smell. It does remind me of a few different things, like this being a niche version of Dior Eau Sauvage de Eau de Toilette. It kind of gives me that same aura and vibe, a very similar scent. And it's great. Performance leaves plenty to be desired. After about an hour, it's very close to the skin, and then maybe 4 hours and it's gone. Its performance is terrible. For what you're going to pay for this, I understand why people say it's not bottle worthy for the price, because you're not getting the performance. Now, if it gave you 6 to 7 hours, which for what you pay for these, I understand a lot of you are like, oh, that's not worth it. 6 to 7 hours for this scent, the quality of this scent, would be worth it. It would. But at 3 to 4 hours, 5 if you're lucky, it's not quite ready. They need to, from what I understand, I think it's another formulation. They improved the performance. So from what I understand, the launch edition of it was even worse. It was like a 2 to 3 hour fragrance, but it smells incredible. There's no way around it. It is a beautiful, beautiful scent. But if I could get at least 6 hours, I'd probably get a bottle. But we'll see. To be determined. I'll do some more wearings. You never know. But it was Parfums de Marly, Sedley. And then later that night, I was in the mood for some heavy citrus. So I went with Gap, Yuzu and Chino, a regular here on this channel in the weekly rotation, because I love smelling this one. That super synthetic, heavy orange citrus. I'm telling you guys, whenever these stores get opened up again and you're looking for something very citrus refreshing that's cheap, stop by your local Gap and get you a bottle of Yuzu and Chino. You're probably going to love it. Moving into Wednesday, one that was sent to me for review recently and is one of the more unique fragrances in my collection. I'll actually put that review right there if you want to check that out, from Kajal Perfumes. It's Yasmina. A spicy floral, elegant fragrance at its finest. It performs. It smells of the highest of qualities. Oh man, good Lord Almighty. And the spices really come out on my skin. The saffron is a super prominent note on my skin in this one. It's spicy, it's floral, it's fresh, it's deep, it's elegant, and it lasts a very, very long time. Like I said, check out the review if you want to hear more, but I wore Yasmina. And then later that evening, my favorite out the shower fragrance, Nautica Classic, never fails. Not too often you're going to see it not on this list. It does happen. Oh man, but it does not happen often, because I love this one. You can get it for around 10 bucks. It's one of the better cheap aquatic fragrances that are out there. This is fantastic out the shower. This is an ideal out the shower fragrance. So on Wednesday, Nautica Classic. It's tried and true. Moving into Thursday, since we've been inside way too much, I'm in a climate-controlled environment, so I can wear pretty much whatever I want, hence why I wore things like Yasmina. It's too hot outside, really, for that fragrance, if you're going to be in the heat, especially down here in South Texas. And it's too hot outside for this one. Guerlain L'Homme Ideal, the Eau de Toilette, the original. But I've been inside so much, it don't really matter. So I felt like wearing some sweet almonds and tonka bean. It was sitting right here on my desk. I sprayed away, and I sprayed kind of heavy too. I gave myself like 7 or 8 sprays, which for this, that's very heavy. And I enjoyed smelling it for hours and hours and hours. It's underrated. Everybody talks about Cologne or the Eau de Parfum. Lately, L'Intense has been getting talked about a lot more. I gotta tell you, the original DNA is absolutely fantastic, extremely overlooked, and you can find these all over for a very good price. This is the second most affordable behind the Cologne, and it's great. It's a 3-season fragrance in my opinion. It's Guerlain L'Homme Ideal, the Eau de Toilette. And then later that night, a discontinued Nautica gem that I only pull out from time to time because I'm low in the juice and I don't want to pay the resale price, which resale, you can get the little gift sets with the 1 ounce for like 30 bucks. It's not the most expensive thing in the world, but comparatively to what you normally get Nautica fragrances for online, that's too much. Nautica Regatta. You see the a little bit left in that. Not going to spray it, but another salty aquatic marine fragrance. Cheap, gets the job done. Actually decent performer. 5 to 6 hour fragrance with some pretty moderate projection early on for that first hour. This is a great summer fragrance. If you can find a really good price on, you know, a little 1 ounce bottle like this, take a shot. If you can find one for $10 to $15, yeah, it's worth $10 to $15 for 1 ounce. It's not worth $30 to $40 for 1 ounce. That's the problem. So, because the 100 ml bottles, they're fetching a pretty penny. They're up in that, you know, mid-level designer price range, $50, $40, $50, $60. Yeah, still not worth it, but not worth it at the same time, you know. But out the shower that day, one of my favorites for a long time now, Nautica Regatta. Moving into Friday, I didn't realize it till I got to this point on Friday that this was actually a relatively niche heavy week. I actually wore more niche fragrances than I really anticipated, and actually took what I think came out to be a beautiful picture with the filters I applied and the angle I took outside. This was my scent of the day post on Instagram from Roger Parfum's Vetiver Parfum Cologne. Not a big fan of Vetiver fragrances, but this one and Dior Eau Sauvage Parfum I think are incredible. This thing's beautiful. This whole line's good fragrances. And with Danger being my least favorite because it's the most generic smelling one to me. But then it's followed by this one because I do love this one. Then Elysium. Yes, believe it or not, Elysium's in the middle of the pack. Then Scandal, because I love Scandal. And Enigma, Creation E. It's just Enigma's more cold weather for me, which is limited where I live. So as much as I enjoy that one, technically I guess Scandal's my favorite because I can wear it in more situations and more often during the year. But I'll actually put that picture right here, by the way, because I thought it was a beautiful shot. It's on my Instagram page if you want to check it out, which is linked below. But Roger Parfum's Vetiver, decent performer, nothing special in performance, but the scent quality is gorgeous. Obviously, I mean, it's a Roger Parfum's fragrance, so it's the highest ingredients, but the main thing is that smell. It's a very fresh, very clean, very beautiful, luxurious Vetiver fragrance. This stuff's great. As long as I've had it, that was the first time I wore it, and it will be getting some more run. This is another one, believe it or not, gets lost in the shuffle. And man, on Friday, Roger Parfum's Vetiver. And then later that night, cheapy, old designer fragrance that had its day that's far over. Ed Hardy, Hearts and Daggers. That's right. Time to time I love spraying this one. It's getting pretty low on the bottle. I do have another 50 ml like this that'll get busted out one of these days, but that martini note in this adds such a fresh, spicy, boozy uniqueness to it. Kind of that gin and tonic vibe in a sense, but a little bit sweeter. And at the same time maintains a good fresh spicy quality. And of all the Ed Hardy bottles, this has always been my favorite, which is cheesy designs nowadays, I guess, but I still love this. I always have, probably always will. That's why I own a backup bottle of it, and you can get them cheap. You can get $15 or less, you know. 50 ml, you can find those for $10, $11, $12 online. 100 mls are in the $15 to $20 range, and it's good stuff, you know, undeniable. I'm sure there's other things that smell like this, but I don't really have other things that smell exactly like it because of the martini note. So it kind of has a little bit of a uniqueness. Very fresh, decent performer. Don't knock it until you try it. It's Ed Hardy, Hearts and Daggers. And then moving into Saturday. So Saturday, haven't wore this in a while. Finally ran out of my decant to start spraying out of my bottle. And man, I got to tell you, this may shock some of you, but I know it doesn't smell exactly like a Ventus. It's Mancera's take on a Ventus. Cedrat Boisé. Where I'm going with this is, and actually that picture as well, my scent of the day picture. I've been bored at home, so I'm taking these really cool shots of my scent of the day now. It's not just going to be in my hand anymore. Anyways, I digress. It gives off the same vibe as a Ventus. You can tell that's kind of where the road Mancera was traveling. Like this was going to be their version of it. From the house, this is their version of a Ventus. Because it doesn't smell exactly like a Ventus. It's not a clone in any way, shape, or form of a Ventus, but it's in the same vein. And I do like this one a lot more. This is much, much fruitier. There's no smoky quality to it because there's no birch or anything like that. It's got a creamy, woody dry down, like the deep dry down, but that fruit that's in the top and in the heart of this fragrance is just absolutely stunning. This is a beautiful fragrance. It's still a good performer, even with the newer batches on my skin anyways. It's such a good fragrance. And you can get them at the discounters for such a good price. You can find these in the $60 to $70 range all over the place. Facebook groups, places like Forever Luxe on eBay, Perfume Empire. There's so many places where you can get this for a really good price because I'm sure this is Mancera's best seller. And this is a great, great, great fragrance. A great dipping my toe into niche kind of fragrance to where you can kind of do two jobs at once. You can kind of get your you know, in the same vein of that mass appeal, bossly type of Ventus kind of smell, that performs, that is of the highest quality. Mancera Cedrat Boisé, some really good stuff. And then later that night, well, last night, it was time for another shave, and I had some new products come in that I ordered from Sterling Soap Company, and I actually went with Sandpiper. This is the aftershave. This smells like La Nuit de l'Homme from YSL, and this aftershave splash has such good longevity and actually a pretty good projection for the first hour. I didn't need to spray anything else. Some of these aftershaves just really do it, and Sterling Soap Company, Sandpiper, really gets the job done. Between the soap and this aftershave splash, I was smelling like La Nuit de l'Homme. I brought the bottle with me in the bathroom when I went to shave, just in case to spray one on my chest, but I waited to see what this was going to do. And it's more powerful than I expected. And I mean, this is every bit of, you know, $15 for this 100 ml, you know. Granted, it is an aftershave splash. It's not a cologne spray or anything, but for those of you that care, Sterling Soap Company makes some really, really good products, and this is their version of La Nuit de l'Homme. So out the shower after my shave, Sterling Soap Company, Sandpiper. So that's my rotation for last week, and until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate all the feedback. I love hearing from you guys. What did you wear this week? Was it one thing, two things? Did you switch it up every day like I usually do? It's very, 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 very rare that I wear the same thing 2 days in a row. And I had some really good stuff this week. A lot of performers, a lot of subpar performers, more niche than usual as of late anyways. And who knows what this week will bring. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of these, you give them a spray now, real good chance you might thank me later. Have a good one, guys.